Today I will be showing you this amazing strategy that gives a lot of winning signals. This strategy made a 71% win rate within a short period of time. I will backtest it 200 times with an initial account size of $1,000. Without wasting much of the time, let's dive into it. This strategy works best on the Litecoin United States dollar tether, and we are on the 15 minutes time frame. So let's quickly go in on how this strategy works, as we will be revealing the settings for these indicators later, as well as mistakes to avoid when using this strategy. So for the first indicator is the absolute strength MTF indicator by Alex Grover. This indicator would be confirming the general trend in the market. And for the seconding indicator, we are using the Williams percentage range indicator on the technical section, as it would be for trade entries, as well as confirmation indicator. For the third indicator, this is our very own ATR, and we would be using this indicator for the values of our stop-loss points. Now let's understand how this strategy works. Before we go over to the settings used in this strategy, you can as well tweak your own settings to fit your preference. So for a buy signal to be valid, we would want to see the blue moving average on the absolute strength be above the red moving average. This shows that the market is in a bullish trend, so this means that we would only be taking buy trades from our confirmation indicator. For this strategy, we only enter trade on retracements, and I will show you the best way to hunt for the retracements, as it gives us high winning rate following trends. So what we have to do next, after we have our blue moving average above the red moving average, is to wait for the Williams percentage indicator to cross and close below the oversold zone. Once we get this, we would enter trade after the next candlestick is present. Now remember that I said after and not on the candlestick. Then we would be placing a buy order at the peak of the trigger candlestick. We would set our stop loss at 1.2 times the value of the ATR, as our take profit would be 1.6 times the risk. So we see that here, we met all our conditions, as the Williams percentage closed below the moving average on this candlestick, and our next candlestick was this, as it would serve as our trigger point for the buy trade. So we would go ahead and place a buy order at the peak of this candlestick. And we can see it was a success. Please, this is important to note. For another entry on bullish retracement, we would wait for the Williams percentage to close and trade above the zero line. We can see we took this trade because it previously closed above the zero line, as this next entry point is not valid as well. Although it was a good trade, but the Williams percentage never closed above the zero line before we got this oversold signal here. After the previous oversold area on this indicator, we can also see that this previous entry was valid, as Williams percentage traded above the zero line before we got our oversold point at this candlestick. So we would be opening trade at the close of the next candlestick, with our take profit and stop loss levels as well. As you can see, it was a success too. Okay, exactly opposite is true for a sell trade. For a short position to be valid, we need to have the red absolute strength moving average above the blue moving average, and we need to have our Williams percentage trade and close above the overbought zone. Before we enter trade on the close of the next candlestick, we would place our trade at the bottom of the trigger candlestick, as the stop loss for the trade is 1.2 times the ATR, and the take profit remains 1.6 times the risk. Remember, we are scalping here, so we need quick change in price in the direction of the market to secure our win. We can see the trade was a success. Please take note that we don't enter trade after the cross on the absolute strength indicator, as we would want to be sure that the change of price direction is valid. So we would wait till the first close that occurs below the zero line on the Williams percentage for short positions and above it for long positions. Now these are the settings we applied on these indicators. For the absolute strength indicator, these are the inputs, and these are the style. For the Williams percentage, these are the inputs, and these are the style settings. For the ATR, it's on its default setting. Now, let's quickly go over some examples, so you would fully understand this strategy before we start our backtesting. Okay, we see that here we had our cross in the moving average at this point, as it signifies a new bullish movement in the market. We did not take this trade because, as I said earlier, we only trade after we have our first oversold signal from the William percentage, followed by a cross above the zero line, before we go ahead to enter trade on the next oversold zone for a long position. So we see that we met our conditions here, and we open trade at the next candlestick after we had our oversold signal here. So we would go ahead and place a buy stop on this candlestick and set our take profit and stop loss values. We see the trade was a success. We can also see our next signal was a success too, as price hit our take profit point. Okay. Here is where we would have taken a sell trade. We see that we are already in a bearish trend, as confirmed by the absolute strength indicator, so we would be entering a short position at this candlestick. As we see that our condition were met here, we would also use our stop loss and take profit level. This is another entry here as well, as we got all our conditions met at this candlestick, so we would be placing our trades here as well. And we can see how smooth both trades did. So this is it, guys. Let's go ahead and backtest our strategy 200 times with an account size of $1,000. So we just finished the backtesting for this strategy, and we can see that the results are amazing. We had a win rate of 71% in 200 backtested trades, having won 143 trades and lost 57, which made us 171% return on investment. And I found those wonderful trade setups within 7 months, although commissions and spread fees would eat up some of the profit in real trading, because it was not included in the backtest, so you definitely want to expect that number to be lower when trading live. The profit factor for this strategy is looking good, I guess, and we had 9 wins in a row against 6 losses in a row, so yeah, I'm definitely happy with these results. Okay traders, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.